Wrestling Podcast. And his name is John Cena.
Go.
Are we going? Are we bantering?
Yep.
Oh, it's been
The
going.
banter ended.
Whatever.
The professionalism begins. Professional as fuck.
Professional as fuck?
Yes.
It's Friday, July 15th, 2016, and you're listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. I'm Ray.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Brittany. Woo!
What the fuck? What was...
What?
I don't... Never mind.
You're usually pretty positive.
Oh, right. Cool.
Jesus Christ. We're three co-workers who enjoy the pro wrestling, and this podcast gives us a space to shoot on all the aspects of our favorite pastime without the confused looks we often get from the rest of the office.
Too late.
Yeah,
No
seriously.
shit.
Although they'll just ask us the next day. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Man, what are you guys doing there? Are you hurting Ray?
Yeah.
But we're not hurting Ray. We're about giving you consistent bite-sized commentary on the world of wrestling.
Just my feelings.
Focusing primarily on WWE's main roster and NXT, though we occasionally touch on indies and the international scene.
Every week, we'll either recap the previous weeks of Raw, NXT, pay-per-view, TakeOver, whatever the hell is on TV and interesting, and we'll hold a roundtable discussion on a particular topic. This week, we are privileged to have as our guest and subject of today's roundtable. Yeah, subject.
Yes.
Subject of
Oh,
today's
yeah.
roundtable. A professional wrestler, our guest from last week, Seattle's independent wrestling organization 321, the Rhinestone Wolverine. This is Eddie Van Glam. Thank you so much for joining us, sir, today.
Thank you for having me.
Yay! Happy to have you back.
So, you wrote in on Rainbow Steel yet
Yes, I
again.
did.
Where from?
We're from Ballard.
Nice.
Awesome.
Have you always lived in Ballard?
I've been kind of all over. I first moved here in 1997, lived in Shoreline for a bit, then I moved to Greenwood, and then from Greenwood I moved to Ballard, which was about 10 years ago.
So what brought you
so-
to the kind of area initially?
My mom got a job offer out here from Virginia, where I was born, and after my parents divorced, I wanted to be with my mom. My mom wanted to go to Seattle to be closer to her family, and the rest is history. We moved here, and I haven't wanted to leave.
We are
So-
very thankful for your mother.
Yeah.
So,
Yay.
Yeah. So how long have you been wrestling for?
I've been wrestling. Oh gosh, I count the day I first walked into 321 because that's where I was like, I'm doing this, and that was at the Pajama Jammy Jam.
Pajama Jammy Jam!
On August 1st, 2007.
Damn. Pajama Jammy Jam. That's my favorite house party.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, there's another one coming up this summer.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited!
August 19th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
If you're wrong, we'll edit that out.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll put like a robot voice. It'll be like August 19th.
So what is it that made you like want to become a wrestler?
It's kind of weird. Like, I never really thought about wanting to be a wrestler. I always loved wrestling. I loved wrestling as a child. Watching wrestling, I should say. The closest I ever wanted to be a wrestler was taking my my stuffed Ninja Turtle and putting him on my beanbag and jumping off the couch arm. You know, and
the
practicing
turnbuckle.
my Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drop.
Nice.
I got so good at that.
A Ninja Turtle didn't know it was
Everything's
coming.
a top
I did, well,
rope.
the Ninja Turtle doesn't exist anymore because I got an elbow dropped his head off. But
R.I.P. Ninja Turtle.
But
Yeah.
no, it was just one of those things like where I always loved watching it. I appreciated the art form of it. And one day my friend was like, "Hey, dude, you know there's wrestling in Seattle?" And I was like, "When?" And he goes, "Oh, on August 1st, we should go." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go."
We have to wear our pajamas.
And, well, I didn't know at the time we walked in, I was wearing clothes. And it was the Pajama Jam at 321. And, like, immediately I saw this one performer, and I just went, and, like, for the longest time, I was getting to this point, I was 25, where I was just like, when you're young, you're like, okay, if you get hurt, don't worry about it. Someone will come and save you. You'll be fine. And as time went on, like, that voice kind of went away. And around the time I was 25, I'm like, don't do that. That's not safe. Is insurance going to cover this? Like,
That's always
don't
the
do
first
it.
question you ask. Is like,
Like-
does insurance cover this?
So, and like, I remember it was like getting to that point where like that little voice that was like, oh, this looks like fun, like, was going away. And I went to this 321 show, and immediately I heard, hey, shut up! So, after that, it was like, I'm hooked. Let's do this.
You gotta
I'm gonna
do it.
wrestle. I want to know if I can do this. And I'm here 9 years later, so I think I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes you can.
We enjoy watching you.
Yes, we
That's
do.
awesome. So,
So-
in those early days, like, was the character in mind, or has it gone through a lot of evolution?
It has gone through a lot of evolution. I actually originally started by a different name. I was known as Mascara Generico. I was a white guy in a luchador mask, and this is before I even knew Ring of Honor
that's like-
existed.
Wow.
It's like super interesting.
Yeah, and
Never
it was,
been done before.
And it was a character that had been losing for 5 years straight, and they just put me in a mask and they said, "Go out there and get your ass kicked by Simba." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." So, and after that, I joined. After I won the Pacific middleweight title later that year, I joined. I realized my potential, and I joined Handsome Boy Wrestling School, and I took off my mask. And
Started by Mr. Fitness.
Started by Mr.
Great.
Fitness. I was a part of Handsome Boy Wrestling School with Draven Lawless and Mr. Fitness.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
And
It was a prestigious school.
Yeah.
I was actually their top pupil.
I believe it.
And I actually came to the. My new name was Big Time Bill Bates.
Ah, all right.
So, because I felt that I was better than everyone, I felt that I was destined for greatness, and I was destined for the big time. Time went on. I was very bitter, very angry. I beat up a lot of people. I was very good at it.
Very good at beating.
And I suffered a car accident in 2012 where the doctor actually said that I probably would not be able to wrestle ever again.
Holy shit.
Like, I had severe tissue damage from the top of my spine all the way down to the base of my spine. It was bad. Like, I couldn't walk for the first 3 weeks. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife, she put me on her couch, and we were only like 5 months into dating, and she didn't kick me out during those times when I was so miserable and angry and in pain, and we've been living together ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But
Props.
when I came back, I was the producer. I became the commissioner of 321.
Ooh.
Diva La Divia actually took the job from me because I wanted to focus on wrestling when I came back. But when I was not wrestling, I was doing burlesque here in Seattle. And I had a stage name of Eddie Van Glam. And I decided that I wanted to bring the two worlds together. And not to mention, when I became commissioner, Mr. Fitness says, "You work for me, so therefore, if you're commissioner, I run the show." And I was like, well, the contract does say that I'm commissioner, but now the documents say Eddie Van Glam. And since then, that's who I've been.
Holy shit,
Damn.
that's awesome.
And I recently took up air guitar.
Yeah. So what the fuck was that? Like, how did that happen?
So, remember back to that August 1st, 2007?
Yeah.
And that one performer? There was a performer by the name of Master Blaster who was the air guitar karaoke champion of the world. And he wrestled in 3-2-1 battle.
What?
And so he had a finishing move where he opened up a guitar case and he swung his air guitar at his opponent. And because
That's fucking
they could
awesome.
not see the air guitar,
It always
they
hit.
couldn't say it was an illegal object because the referee couldn't see it. Therefore, it was
Also,
legal.
you can't defend against it because you're not sure when it's going to hit.
Right?
It just
Yeah.
hits you.
So,
It's
yeah.
genius.
And it's the most It was the most destructive move in 3-2-1 history because nobody could kick out of the air guitar. And when I took up air guitar, I actually called Master Blaster up, who's retired since then, and I asked him about that air guitar and if he still had it and if I could probably buy it off of him because he was the reason I wanted to be in 3-2-1 battle. And he actually gifted me his air guitar.
Ooh.
So
That-
I actually
That's awesome.
I'm the second person in 3-2-1 to use the air guitar.
Holy shit! It's like
But-
I didn't know it was the same one.
But like I was gifted it by the original.
This is like a legend
Yes.
passing on their
No, yeah,
finishing
this is-
moves. This
yeah,
is
yeah.
fantastic.
That's awesome.
This is like Triple H passing on the pedigree.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's,
I got
you
like
know,
goosebumps.
It's the Excalibur of wrestling.
Yeah,
here.
it's Thor's hammer.
Thor's hammer. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
better one. Yeah,
So,
So,
Dang.
King of England. You can lift the hammer.
no shit. So when we've obviously seen you multiple times at 3-2-1 battle, but for those that haven't had the illustrious opportunity,
The
to
privilege.
see, to see you wrestle, how would you describe your wrestling style?
the best way to describe for me, like I guess the best way is showman.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, I'm a wrestler, I'm
I'm a
a
mat
brawler,
wrestler.
I'm a technical guy, and for me, I'm like, I like to show off.
Yeah.
It's not mean necessarily that I like to do flips and that sort of thing.
No, but you come out with your butt cheek hanging out of a costume.
Not hang. It's not hanging.
It's not hanging. It's
pretty
not.
tight up
I'm
in
sorry.
there.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's visible through some fishnet.
And I'm very comfortable with myself and my sexuality and my body. I am proud of my body. I could be more proud. I got a bit of a dad bod going on right now, but I like people smiling. I mean, I loved being a heel for the longest time. Don't get me wrong. Pissing people off was just, especially after I had a bad day at work. I get to come here now and piss other people off. Great. But no. After a time, I just enjoyed making people smile. I enjoyed making people feel happy, and getting them to laugh. You know,
yeah. My first show was the show where you came back and gave out all the Capri Suns Black Friday. That was the first show I went to last year.
And see, for me, it's all about.
And you're like, why does he give people Capri Sun? I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's
Yeah.
3-2-1. You don't need an
I'm
answer
the
for anything.
Capri Sun kid, baby.
Yeah.
That was one of those things that I came back and they're like, what do you have for goals? I'm like, I don't know. I've been champion. I'm the first ever 3-2-1 Triple Crown winner to win all 3 titles. I've kind of done everything. What can I do? I'm like, I don't know. Can I get Capri Sun over? Let's find out. And,
It works.
Guess what I did?
Yeah.
So now that you're a wrestler, and you have been for a while, is it what you expected in the beginning?
It's a lot more. I've done stage theater, and I've done musical theater, and while that's been fun, there's something very magical about wrestling because I even got to experience it at the Battle Dome. There's that place that sits above the bar, and being a part of the audience and watching a match and being with the crowd and chanting along with them is magical. But when I got to pull myself out and I got to watch and see the audience and the match happening, it was like this one moving body. It was it wasn't just the match and the audience. It was one.
It was
thing.
kind of symbiotic.
It was very symbiotic, and it was mind blowing to realize that to have that kind of power over a person or people.
Yeah.
I never expected it. So that doesn't happen in the theater. You don't, and it doesn't happen in sports either. You don't know, and I don't know of any other sport that has the audience cheer and all of a sudden things change.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, when you guys pull off those turns, it's pretty rad.
Right?
Yeah.
Or
Whoa!
when your favorite's on the ground and you start stomping your feet and clapping and you're chanting, meow, 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 meow. All of a sudden he comes back to life.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with Ken Griffey Jr. That doesn't happen with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's funny too because it's going into shows or matches, there is there's a back and forth that happens between the wrestlers and the audience.
Oh, yeah.
That's if you chant during just any point, it doesn't really work. You'll get drowned out. But if you pick that moment,
And I'll give you a shitty look because you're fucking it up.
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, we've seen that.
well,
yeah,
do
we've
not get
both
me
seen
started.
that. Yeah. Oh.
I've got
But
stories.
but when you get that moment where it's it just he's in a headlock, everything just gets quiet, and then you just have that one person start
Everyone's
it,
on their edge of the
and
seat,
then just
ready
it
to go.
starts up, and it just builds, and it's it's a great back and forth.
That reminds me of my favorite Eddie Van Glam match was when you were fighting Ace Jack.
Oh my god, I was just gonna fucking say that. I was gonna say
And the Bohemian Rhapsody match with what was the referee was Chris Samuels. Who
Yeah.
at one point
Yeah. He
busted
puts out
out
the fucking wig.
He pulls out the blonde wig at one point.
Well, the
and-
build-up was the key, right? Because
it was the
it kept
build-up.
happening. It's what, they just played part of that song.
Yeah, it's does everyone else listen to that song? Are we all high at the same time? What's happening?
I've had
And
a
then-
lot of, $5 double beers.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
know
had a lot
exactly
of
what's
cheap,
happening.
shitty beer at that point.
So
but-
we kept people in the dark about that. Not even the producers knew.
The
Yeah.
timing was
The announcers didn't know. The only people who know were
Like the three of you in a match.
Ace Jack, myself, and Chris Samuels. That was it.
That's awesome.
That's
the
amazing.
timing on everything you did on all three sides was insane.
And the attention to detail, the "we will not let you go" as he's has
my
you
God.
in the ankle lock and he's pulling you
that's
away,
great.
and the audience is like, "Let him go!"
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I didn't expect that to get as big as it did.
It was amazing.
It actually went viral on Facebook.
yes, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yes, it did.
It actually also caught the attention of Ridiculousness on MTV.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
As well as what's his name from Comedy Central, who pretty much does the same thing.
Todd.
Tosh Point. They heard about it.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Joey Ryan even saw it, and he was like, "This is amazing."
Yay!
I was like,
That's cool.
so.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Andrew WK was like,
Party
"Wow."
hard, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Those
Cool.
guys know how to party.
We talked a bit about sort of the fandom there. Like, when did you first get into it as a fan, watching the wrestling?
Wrestling, I was 9 years old.
Booyah.
And honestly, it was I was at a CVS with my mother, and she said I can get like one thing, like a candy bar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this WWF magazine with Papa Shango on the cover.
Holy shit!
And I
Yeah.
still have that magazine.
Oh man.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I still have it. I just saw the character, and I was just like, "Who is that?" And then I open it up, and there's the Undertaker and Macho Man. Like, I knew who Hulk Hogan was. Like, Hulk Hogan, for any kid back then, he was like the starter pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so for me, I'm like, yeah, I like Hulk Hogan. Like, and then I saw Macho Man. I'm like,
Yeah.
Like-
Who needs Hulk Hogan? We got this guy.
I was like, dude, this guy's way cooler.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay, so who do you watch? Like, okay, what shows are you watching now? Who are some of the wrestlers that you're really watching, paying attention to?
So I feel like it's mandatory that I watch Raw. Like,
Yeah.
I have to watch Raw.
It's
Like,
the product. It's
that's
how you
the-
maintain knowledge of the industry.
Like, if I want to know what's going on in storyline, I watch Raw. If I watch granted, I watch SmackDown. It's the Raw recap, but like that's
Pretty
gonna
much.
change pretty soon.
That's gonna change.
So I watch Raw. I always DVR Raw. And I just fast forward through the parts. Like, I don't
The
watch.
hour of recaps from earlier,
Oh yeah, no, I
That
fast
too.
forward. Like, I go through Raw in probably an hour and a half.
Yeah,
which is what arguably it should be in
And
the first place.
I obviously I watch SmackDown, and unless there's a match I really want to see, I don't care. I love NXT. I love Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
I'm here with you guys. Normally, I'd be sitting on my couch watching both right now.
Ooh.
But I also I just recently, I feel so stupid. I just recently got into New Japan.
What?
I just recently.
man.
I'm a little disappointed. in you.
Well,
He's
honestly,
busy actually wrestling.
That's true.
Yeah.
He gets an excuse. He gets an excuse.
I got a lot of. I'm a burlesque performer. I'm a hairstylist. I'm an air guitarist. I'm a pro wrestler. I'm a husband. I'm about to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a little busy right now.
Yeah.
I
You
just
actually
found
got
New
you beat. One of the few.
I know.
Like,
Like,
I
I got a lot of
have-
shit going on in my life.
Like,
I'm done. Game, set, match, bro.
So I just found out that there's a television a New Japan television program, and I was just like, guys, did you know this? They're like, yeah, it's been out for a couple years. I'm
Yeah.
like, why didn't anybody tell me? They're like, yeah.
Any
we thought you knew.
any Ring of Honor?
I do watch some Ring of Honor. I DVR it, and I usually try to watch it on Saturday mornings before I go to work. But
New School Saturday morning.
I watch
cartoons.
yeah,
Saturday
that's
morning
a-
Ring of Honor.
yeah, but like I
Gotta
try
get
to
your
watch
Jay
but
Lethal in with your
again, when you
cereal,
think
man.
about it, like with all that wrestling, that's a lot of wrestling to watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And on top
yeah.
of that, it's summertime, guys. I'm not gonna lie, Big Brother just started, and that's my jam. Like,
I support you 100% in this.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone
So,
says.
I mean, speaking of your schedule, I mean, training. So, like, what does that look like? Are you training with the other wrestlers?
so training happens 3 times a week. I try to make at least one practice,
Yeah.
and it's a good solid practice from like 7:30 to like midnight, usually, or at least 11. We got a fabulous training staff, led by Coach Steele, who's a performer also. It's actually ironic. Before Coach Steele moved up here from San Francisco, I actually bumped into him. We didn't even realize that we knew each other until one day where he was like, "Oh yeah, you know these people," and I'm like, "Yeah, I did their show last year." And he was like, "I was working the door at that show," and I'm like, "Remember the guy who did the Macho Man act?" He goes, "Yeah," and I just pointed at myself, and he just went, "Oh shit, that's you!" Like,
Small world.
so yeah, it's been great. Like, Coach Steele is phenomenal. He's been bringing a lot of the newer guys who've been coming in, and they've been phenomenal. My game's improved tremendously. My confidence is built up tremendously.
That's awesome when you can have a teacher do that.
Yeah, I mean, and like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've gone to practice for 3-2-1 at least once a week. Try to do it twice a week, but it's like I'll go
It's
at
hard.
least
It's
once a
life.
week. I'll go at least once a week, and I've been doing that since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Wow.
I'm like, I don't think that I'm above anyone else. Like, I know I'm a quote unquote veteran in 3-2-1, but like, I'm always wanting to improve. I'm always wanting
As
to
it should
be
be.
better.
With anything.
Yeah.
Like,
I
if
mean-
you want to be good at what you do, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah,
The moment you
like-
feel like you're not growing, you probably should just find a new hobby.
Well, yeah, like even my wife said she's a dancer, and she says, she'll still go to basics just to make sure she didn't pick up any bad habits and she can keep the
yeah.
the rust off.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something I love about the beginners class. Like, I still go to the beginners class because there's times where I'm like, ooh, I've gotten lazy about this.
Basics
like,
are important, man.
yeah.
Yep.
So what were your, like, first favorite wrestlers?
In all the world or in 3-2-1?
And
In-
I kind of want to know both.
Both.
Let's start with in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
In the world, my all-time favorites. If I have to pick three, like immediately, it's Macho Man and Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
And
Good choices.
Yeah.
right now, he's a bit hot right now, and he's quite the popular guy. But I can't help it. Like, right now, I'm crushing really hard on Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I actually got to see him live in when he came here to Seattle, and everybody was like, and like for me, I was reminded back to when Daniel Bryan retired, and he says we were told to never close our eyes, but like I had to just experience this, and so like it's just before like his music hit, I remembered that, and I just went and I closed my eyes, and guys, the feeling that I got from that to hear that audience for this man, I was just like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen this guy live before, and I'm experienced, like, and then, like, just when I knew he was walking out, I opened my eyes, and I saw him, and, like, my wife looks over, and she's like, are you crying? I'm like, yes. Like, it was so intense.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, dude, I don't know what I have to do to tap that, but I mean, like, tap that energy.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
It
was
was
phenomenal.
The
Like,
juice was so real, like even the Drifter was over as a heel.
Yeah.
the King of Strum style.
I remember.
Shout out to Murray Grande for coining
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I remember on the WWE Network had the Battleground, like the follow-up
Yeah.
after all of their characters and whatnot. And there's this scene where Triple H is sitting there, like, talking to Shinsuke right before his entrance. Like, they're at rehearsal, like, talking about everything for NXT Dallas. He's like, I don't care how long you take. You could take a whole fucking 10 minutes if you want. Just do your thing.
Yeah.
Just do it. And it was like, and that feeling, because I remember that, like, we were there at the Paramount watching this, and it was just incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the guy knows charisma. Like, he is charisma.
Yeah. It's his body language.
Yeah, it's
And
so
like,
good.
and it's that thing. Like I said, the reason why I love wrestling so much is that he knows how to take that emotion and he teases it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Like when he even like told Balor, like he's like I must defeat Icon. I must defeat. And you're like,
Say it. Say it.
it's totally Frankenfurter doing the whole
Yeah.
antithesis.
Just say it. Say it.
I'm like,
I love
So-
it. I love it.
Literally oozing machismo.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So looking back, like, you're wrestling for this long.
No,
Quick-
I want to know what
quick
his
thing.
favorite 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Oh yeah,
3, 2,
shit.
1.
Shit, Ray.
God damn it.
Can't take you anywhere.
Other than myself.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah.
You're the special guest.
Yeah. My favorite wrestler to watch, I might get some heat for this, is Mr. Fitness.
Yes!
Fitness.
Boom!
He's my boy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so
I know he's
conflicted
a
right
heel,
now.
but he's my buddy.
Yeah.
And I love the man.
Those dimples.
Yeah.
Dude, and he's
Those dimples.
I thought about a wheatgrass smoothie
and,
after seeing him. Like, I'll give it a go.
I immediately was like, I should get back at the gym more.
Him
Yeah.
and him
So
and
motivational.
and maybe it's because of our history, but like him and Draven are my
Draven.
my favorites.
Oh, man.
I love Draven.
I enjoy them. I enjoy spending backstage with them. I enjoy hanging out with them. I enjoy watching them wrestle and perform. Like they're my boys.
Who's your favorite 3, 2, 1 person to wrestle?
Ooh, let's see.
And you
here.
could do like more recent or of all time or your most memorable match that you've wrestled. Because I
My
know that's a
mo-
very big question for
my
you having
most
your career.
memorable match was when I faced my former best friend Holiday who's no longer a part of 321. And it was the match a year after my car accident. I hadn't wrestled for a full year. Last time I wrestled before that, I was Cole Crazy for the Pacific Middleweight title, and he won he beat me for the championship.
Cole Crazy.
And
We love us some Cold Crazy.
yeah, he was a dick back then.
Probably still love him.
Yeah, no, at the time, no. And then I hadn't wrestled for a full year because we didn't know I was going to wrestle again, and I found out that I was coming back. That's how the Wolverine came about, because I was just like, wow, I just took this like gnarly like career-ending injury, and I just like Wolverine like healed like, oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Just
And,
do it.
It was so special because like that match went for like a half hour. He beat the snot out of me, and the coolest part was my father and my stepmom, who flew in from Atlanta just to see me wrestle for the first time ever.
Aww.
Yeah.
So that was my first time wrestling as Eddie Van Glam, and my father, and like I have this great photo after the match where I'm sitting on the stage and I'm thanking the audience, and there's my dad, my stepmom, and my wife sitting in the front row smiling.
That's so awesome.
That's amazing, man.
And the feels.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
Son
see,
of a
like,
cunt.
it's that whole thing. I love making people feel something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I can kick the shit out of somebody, but if the audience ain't feeling it,
Doesn't matter.
right?
Yeah.
All right, wait, Ray. What
Oh,
question you
okay.
got?
All right, now you can continue.
Yeah. The thing I was gonna ask, when you were talking about wrestling these different individuals, is what do you look for as far as like what makes a good match? Like, what are the key things that make a good pairing?
It's a lot of things like if me and the guy are like on the same brainwave in terms of what we want to bring to the match, and whatnot. Like I've had matches with guys where like we just didn't mesh. Like we just weren't seeing eye to eye.
Mm-hmm.
They were thinking over here. It's almost like it was like a clash of styles, and they just weren't meshing. Like here's me wanting to wrestle like showman kind of WWE style, and he wants to do more like ECW brawl. It's like
Those just aren't going to work.
it's just like, and like it's nothing against them. It's just we're not meeting. Like, and I would try to work with them and make it happen, and it would be a good match, but it wouldn't be something I'd be happy about.
Right.
Yeah.
So just kind of being on the same page.
Yeah, and that was like way back in the day when like we really didn't have much direction.
Oh, okay.
And now 321 has gotten to the point where we're all together, we're working together, we're a crew.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just individual guys who come together. We're a team.
Yeah.
321 is a whole. It is a group of men who are friends
And women. You got Carlina now.
We got Carlina. And we're always looking for more.
Baby, I'm busy. Need a valet? Like,
We could use more. Anyway, but like we're all getting to that point. We're all on the same page, and I think it has shown, especially in the last year, in terms of our quality, because people are meshing much more now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can't say what I got coming up in the future.
and you shouldn't.
I'm not going to, but let's just say I'm very excited.
Yay!
That's awesome.
And this is beyond just the Pajama Jam Jam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. You'll just have to come to the next show and see.
I mean-
we're gonna start teasing it.
Oh my god, I'm excited.
crap.
I'm
Holy
so
crap.
excited. But
The
yeah,
thing
I,
I've said the most to people just about your shows and stuff is that like generally 90 to 100% of it is awesome. It's not like I sit through a shitty WWE pay-per-view and it's like, oh, this is like the take
This
a long
is the
shit
pee
match.
break match.
This
Yeah.
is the pee break.
Yeah, nobody
know?
ever comes to a 3-2-1 show. This is something I love. No one comes to a 3-2-1 show and says, I had a miserable time.
Yeah.
I hated this.
I have to
Nobody says
specifically-
that.
Yeah.
If in the 9 years I've been coming and doing this, nobody has ever said, oh, I regret. I
it
wish I
becomes
didn't
a
come."
skill
Yeah.
going to a 3-2-1 show where you have to use the bathroom ahead of time because you're going to drink so much shitty beer during the show,
Yeah.
but you don't want to leave to use the restroom because you'll miss awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to give her shit all the time because she would always leave when Weekend Warrior would do a moonsault.
I would always fucking miss it. And now I'm just like, his music hits, I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not going. I gotta stay here.
Because it's fucking awesome.
It's good.
I never want to be underneath that.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
That's like, yeah, to see that
terrifying.
much mass coming at you upside down. Nope. I actually wrestled him one time where
I think
he hit me with a swanton.
Oh, yeah?
I think based on
I
like...
pretty much shit my pants.
So the thing is like...
I'm kidding.
Weekend Warrior is like, I think, terrifying just because you think about kind of like that much person moving at you that quickly.
Yeah.
But I would trust probably him more than any other person if I were a wrestler, just because I see him doing those moves consistently every time. Like every time he hits a clothesline, it's always in the right spot at the same amount of force. And
So,
every
I
time
don't know.
he
If
does
I got a
moonsault-
roundhouse kick from him, I'd be pretty worried.
I don't know. Those look pretty.
I'd be
painful.
more worried from a roundhouse kick from Sage.
Oh my god!
God.
Yeah.
Man.
Ooh, that guy's
Like
a dick.
I wouldn't have a head anymore. So.
Shit.
All right. So I've got a question
'Kay.
because you're gonna be a father soon.
I'm gonna be a dad.
Oh my god!
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, that wasn't a joke. Okay, yeah.
Did
no.
you?
Are you excited to get your new kid into wrestling? Or is
yeah.
it something that you're kind of like just waiting to see if it's something they'll pick up?
It's so weird. Like,
Are you gonna like hide it and make it a
know-
secret?
Well, I don't know.
There's so many options.
I can't think of a kid who, when they were younger, didn't like wrestling. It's like live action comic books, you know?
Yeah,
The comic book
it's actually
come to
how I
life.
describe 3-2-1 shows.
You know? And like that, I mean, I saw Macho Man and he was just like off the page. Like, this guy's awesome. However, for my kid, like, we're gonna have to, like, it'll be one of those things where I'll have to tease. I don't want to force him with it.
Yeah.
It's actually
Because you know if you force it, they're gonna
like,
hate it.
my mother hated pro wrestling. She hated it. She thought it was stupid and Neanderthal and a waste of talent. She told me that back when I said I want to be a wrestler. She actually said it was a waste of talent.
Motivation.
Yeah, well, after she passed away, I said, screw this, I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
I don't have her to tell me no. But in terms of my child, you know, I'm not going to hide that I watch wrestling. I'm going to watch it, and if he likes it, cool. However, telling him that dad's a pro wrestler, no, that's something...
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is like, are you just going to say like it's this guy?
I'm not going to lie, I kind of want to surprise him with it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think that
Where
would be
does dad
amazing.
go super late at two
Swerve your own kid.
You know, it's like daddy's got to go to work,
Yeah.
you know.
Daddy
And
comes
then-
home really late from work,
and,
covered in glitter.
Yeah.
And then,
Is Daddy a stripper? Kind of. Kind of.
Well, Dad's a burlesque performer. I won't hide that from him.
So he'll know about that
Yeah.
one, but he won't know about the wrestling. I love this.
Dude, in Europe they hide violence from people, and and they're open with sex. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna do the same thing, but in my house. So yeah, I'll let him know about the burlesque thing, but the wrestling thing, I'm not gonna let him know I do. And then one day, once he's like old enough to, I think, appreciate it, and hopefully that won't be too long because I'm 33 right now. I can't do this like when I'm 43. What I would love to do is be like, well, fine, let's go to a show, and like I would love to take him to a 3-2-1 show where
And then
it's
just
like,
have you come out.
and then like
Oh my
where it's
God.
like, well, what I would do is like have us sit there, and then
Just
you know,
sit down.
and then have the heel that I'm gonna feud with just be like, listen to you, like, look at you,
Yes.
old man, you old
Yes.
washed up, you has been, and be
You
like,
played
have
in
my
the
kid just be
story.
like, Dad, what's he talking about? Like, I'm like, nothing. Shh, drink your juice. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
here's your Capri Sun. Daddy's gonna drink his two for $5. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
and then like have this guy just beat the snot out of it. Like, I feel terrible about this. I want my son to cry. I want him to feel like scared.
Yes.
I want him to understand like
Your son's gonna think
violence
you
is-
went into wrestling for that moment.
Cause like it's like I'm not gonna wrestle
It's
that
a really
night.
long play.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like you know, and like afterwards I'll take him home and be like, listen, violence. The best way to describe it is Shawn Michaels, like my favorite match of all time. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, SummerSlam 2003.
Yeah.
Like
Awesome.
hands down. Or wait, no, 2002. Excuse me. And he did this thing where Triple H beat the crap out of Shawn beforehand, and he said, you know, I'll be ready by SummerSlam, you know, and that sort of thing. And I wouldn't do that because essentially that's what we did for my match with Holiday back in 2012, but or 2013. So what I would then do is just look at my son, sit him down, and say, you know, violence is wrong. But sometimes you have to fight. and then I would bring him to the show with his mom, sit him down, and then I would just go backstage. I'd kiss him on the forehead. I'd go backstage, and then just wait for Living on a Prayer to hit.
Oh my god.
And then I already told my wife, I was like, if this goes according to plan, I am show and tell for like the rest of like grade school.
Oh my god.
Like I was like, hey guys, I need to borrow the championship. I know, show and tell Wednesday. Like,
Sorry.
That's fucking amazing. Dude.
All right, so we're running out of time, so I want to wrap it up with one more question from you. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who's starting off with wrestling?
know that it hurts. You know,
it is real.
It is real. What we do may be scripted, but the pain is real. Like, however, I will say, like, something that I wish someone told me, stay humble. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going to be the new favorite toy of the group. So don't get cocky when you're starting to, like, get all popular. Like, stay humble, but stay hungry. Always strive to be better and never think that you are above training. Mm-hmm. Like, always be training.
You can always be better.
Trying to be. Yeah, this is a practice, and practicing, you never master it. Always try to be better.
This is
always be studying. Always be learning. Stay hungry. Stay humble.
This is like the 3-2-1 feel good episode.
Yeah,
like
shit.
like
That's
on the
awesome.
heels. Like I want to be on the faces now. Like I'm all warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah, well,
That's
if you want, I could put it in a word and maybe get Steve West out here and just get you back on track.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck Steve West. God, that guy's such a bitch.
I know.
I mean, he's simply the best, though.
He's simply a
my God.
bitch.
Whoa.
I fucking love Steve West.
damn it.
I don't feel
yelling
safe
at
when I
him.
sit
love
next to
flipping
you
him
and
off.
Steve West is
He's
out
like
there.
my favorite. Like all of my shit that I carry throughout the week, and then Steve West comes out, and I'm like, oh, I get to get it all out. I get to give Steve West so much goddamn shit.
Well, it's fine
Dude,
for
if
you.
you just want to
like-
wear a wallet chain, do it. Jeez.
yeah, wallet chain and trunks,
man.
man.
I've been telling him, like, dude, why are you selling this for merch?
Yeah.
Like, wallet chains.
I
Oh
had
my
one
God.
of those Stone Cold wallet chains in like 1998. It's the best.
It was awesome.
I didn't even need it. I had like no money. It was stupid.
All right. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
man,
having
this
me.
was fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's that'll wrap it up for the week. If you like the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at OnTheHeelsWP and on Facebook.com/OnTheHeelsWP. We're also on iTunes. You can download past episodes and go to future episodes.
So hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment.
Comment. You did it last time.
It's true. On the iTunes store, give us a 5-star rating so more people can find us. And please.
And if you don't, I will come to your house and beat you up.
And do an 8-year-long con.
Because violence. Sometimes you need to fight.
I have an air guitar, damn it.
And you won't see it coming.
And you can't kick out.
You can't kick out. So feel free to tweet or message us random wrestling stuff, and we will respond and share.
Thank you for listening to On the Heels Wrestling Podcast. Tune into our next episode or do some more recaps of Monday Night Raw. Maybe catch up on some NXT. And then, after all those questions, we'll ask ourselves the eternal question. Who's gonna shut Sarian's mouth at 3-2-1 Battle on July 15th?
Ooh. Who?
Mr. Wrestling, Jeff Cobb.
Motherfucker!
Announced here. Fuck yes. Oh my god.
He was breaking it.
On the Heels Wrestling Podcast.